Good evening, everyone, and it is Christmas week. It is Monday, the 22nd of December, 2025, and it's 10 o'clock here in Spain, 9 o'clock back home in the UK. But Sarah is in Arizona. What's the time there, Sarah? Oh, we've lost you, Sarah. That's a great start. There you go. You're back again.
We're 7 hours behind you, so I can't actually see the time on my phone because I've got it like this. But
1 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll make that. Is that right? Yeah.
Is it 1? No, it's 2.
2 o'clock. 2 o'clock.
It's 2 o'clock. Yeah. That's why there was a bit of a mistake earlier because I logged on live at 1, and obviously you weren't there, but yeah.
You worked it out in the end. So was that my fault or your?
A bit of both, I think, to be honest.
We'll share the blame. Evening, Ian. Thank you, mate. Lovely to see you. Rest in peace, Chris Rea. Yeah, very sad to hear that. Let's have a look. Momus is in the room. Good evening, Momus.
Hi there.
Hi.
So,
Momus.
Sarah, tell us what you're doing out in the States at the moment.
So, as you know, I come to Phoenix, Arizona to go to Turning Point, and it's been pretty epic, to be fair. Met loads of lovely people, done lots of interviews. They're all concerned here. They've got massive problems out here in the US as well, and they was wanting to know what's going on in the UK. So they're really worried as well.
What's the reception like been from the American people?
Oh, you know what? I couldn't have been more welcomed. However, first night went out for dinner and was in this restaurant sitting around the fire pit, and a guy said to me, "Oh, what brings you to America?" Said Turning Point. With that, oh my God, all hell broke loose. Woman stormed out the restaurant. She was saying that Charlie Kirk deserved to die, and then he turned around to me and he said, "I think that's your cue to leave. You better get yourself home before you get in any trouble." I was like, "I'm not going anywhere." And I just ordered my food, and he was like, "Well, I'd eat up quick if I was you, before something bad happens." Like proper threatening me. So yeah.
Well, there's the left for you. There's the left.
They're mental cases. They are mental. And you know, at that point, you think, hold on a minute, they carry guns here. So yeah, but yeah, it's been good. It's been really good.
You enjoyed it, yeah? Yes. You've been talking about Advance out there.
Yeah, been spreading the word of Advance. I was on Steve Bannon's War Rooms, and he was saying, because I said I'm part of the largest growing political party in the UK right now, and he went, "Oh, Reform." I went, "Definitely not." And I went in on Nigel, and yeah, it's been good. It's been eventful.
What's the weather been like out there?
It's been lovely. It gets really, really. It's like cold in the morning. It gets quite cold in the evening. It's quite strange because it's really hot now. But then we went on a UTV and through the mountains, which was epic. And that was like 2 hours. And then we also went and shot some guns, done some like handguns and AK-47s. It was really good.
That's right up my street. The person you are with, who I won't name just in case she doesn't want me to, but she sent me some videos. It looks like a whole heap of fun. Scotty John says, "Loving the ice hat." Momus, we'll bring you in just a moment, mate. But the sound with Sarah's a little bit weak, so we'll talk to Sarah for 5 minutes and then we'll let her get back to what she's got to do. Have you got any questions for Momus? Momus, can you hear me?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for Sarah?
Yeah, no, like just I've been watching the pictures and the videos and stuff like that. Looks like you're having fun, and Arizona is like a really, really good spot. So, yeah, just like no questions, but just like hope you're having fun.
Yeah, no, I'm having the best time. Honestly, it's lived up to it. My expectations. It's everything I hoped and wanted. And yeah, it'd be nice to have some food without loaded with sugar. That'd be nice to be back home and have some nice food. But yeah, it's been really good. There's been hasn't just all been work. There've been after parties as well, which has been really nice. And like I say, I've met some incredible people, and they're really like when you're talking to people and they're in the White House and places like that, and they're wanting to speak to you. And I had a really good meeting with Glenn Beck the other day. He was really nice guy. Exchanged details with him. So yes, it's been really, really nice. It's been a real eye opener.
What's the general view out there, Sarah? What are the Americans saying about the UK right now?
They can't believe the things that are going on in the UK. They're like, we've heard what's going on, but we weren't sure whether it was true. We was thinking, surely that can't be the case. And yeah, so obviously every interview I done, I was reinforcing what is really going on, and the two-tier corruption and policing in our country, and making people aware. And they was all shocked to hear that I'd been arrested for unfurling the flag. And I was saying, people go to prison just for tweets online, and 12,000 arrests last year for hate speech. And yeah, they now know that everything they're hearing is not a lie. And they're worried because, they're worried about the immigration problem that's happening in their country as well. So
yeah,
we do get concerned for that.
Yeah, Sarah, thank you so much. I'm going to let you go. I'll tell you why the sound is pretty bad, but thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. Have a safe journey home tomorrow, and we'll see you soon. God bless you.
Yeah, see you when you come back.
Bye.
See you later, Sarah. See you later. Momus, good evening. Sorry about that, mate.
No, it's all right. I actually thought like you were asking her as questions, so that's why I was waiting.
Oh, no. I just wondered, if you had any questions for Sarah, but to be fair, the sound is pretty bloody awful.
Yeah.
Craig, thank you. Became a YouTube member. Really appreciate that. Momus, how you doing, brother? It's been a while since you've been on. Always good to see you.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Man.
I'd have you on more, Momus, but the trouble is you speak so much sense that you make me sound stupid.
Oh, come on.
And I can't do that. I've got to have people on that don't make me...
You're wearing white jumper, I'm wearing a black jumper, so I'll be the devil today. And you can be the angel today.
Now, the bad news is that Richard will be along anytime soon. He's just finishing up on his own show over there, and he'll be along soon. But, mate, I mean, look, there's so much to talk about. First of all, well, let me start off with, you've got something happening in your life, haven't you? A new website, or tell us about that. What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a new website. It's like it is my website, theworldofmomos.com. I'm writing a bit over there, about different topics, about like, social and political commentary and stuff like that. Also doing my podcast on YouTube, but it's more on Substack as well. That website is sort of Substack. So if anyone wants to go and, check my work out, that's probably the best place to go, theworldofmomos.com. I'm trying to make it more like I've recently had the chance to talk with Ben Habib. So I've done an interview with him, pretty fun, sort of like not what everyone else is doing. I didn't really talk about reform at all. I didn't really talk about the current political situation in the political sense, but more in the policy sense. And we were talking about Pakistan and what the British relationship should be with Pakistan and those stuff like that. But I also did a paid subscribers only segment with him, very different. Silly questions segment. So I've asked him really silly questions, which gives a really good insight into the person that he is, and that's what I'm hoping.
He's got a good sense of humour, hasn't he?
Oh,
yeah. A great sense of humour, Ben.
We got along really well. Yeah.
How did you find him in general?
I mean, very personable person, I think. So, like, very easy to talk with. And we were laughing all the way through, even though we were talking about serious things, but you can make light of those things, right? And I think so. He has a good heart. Like, he's not, with some people, you can sort of, when you're talking to them, you can sort of sense that they're hiding something, right? Like you can't trust them or something like that. Like with him, you
Yeah.
can just trust him that he'll take your good points and he won't try to twist it or anything like that, which is very important. These days to find in very very few people you can find that in. I think so.
Absolutely. Was that your first time meeting Ben?
Now I met him in Newcastle for
Oh
the
yeah,
launch.
yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't really get to talk to him that much because, like, he's Ban Habib. Everyone came over there for him. They all wanted to talk to him. I was like, I'm not gonna bother. I was with other people, so it's like, I'll let him be. So I really wanted to catch up with him, anyways. I
Yeah.
didn't even like. I wasn't even bothered recording, to be honest. But we thought, like, that's what I called him for. So let's record something. I just
Yeah.
wanted to talk to him. So, like, I think so. It was pretty good. It gave me a lot of confidence in what advance is about, and compared to other options out there.
Yeah. So moving forward, let's get on to the more contentious stuff, if you like. I was going to wait until Richard got on, but when Richard's talking, you never know when he's going to appear. It could be
Yeah.
this time tomorrow. So we'll get into it. We've got best part of 1,000 people already watching, and that
Oh,
will
that's good.
soon pick up as well. Momus, these new potential blasphemy laws, the anti-Muslimness laws that the Labour government are going to be trying to get through. First of all, I want to ask you two questions. Firstly, what do you make of them? And secondly, what do you think the chances of them actually getting through Parliament? But let's start with what do you make of them?
Well, the thing is, like, they're not needed, right? Like, even if you were a left-leaning person and you wanted, whatever Islamophobia laws or whatever like that, these additional laws are actually not needed, right? Because they're covered under other things like Human Rights or Public Order Act, or like, Crime and Disorder Act. Like, there's so many other things where this can be covered under, that this is not needed. So if someone was being hateful towards a Muslim for being a Muslim, there are laws in the country that will protect that
It's
person.
already covered.
It's already covered, right? So for me, like, this is like more political than useful. And even the definition that they're giving, they're saying it's not legally binding. It's sort of like a guidance sort of a thing. So it seems to me this is more of a signaling to the Muslim vote, because they know they're losing those votes to the Green Party. They don't really have any intention of using it any further. They're making them more important than anyone else because Labour is dependent on those votes, and that's all it's about. And also, it's sort of like, I think, is the old establishment also trying to sustain itself in a way that they will be in favor of Muslims, and conservatives can come out, be a bit against Muslims, while in the background they both actually are in agreement with the Islamophobia law, because it was proposed by the conservatives, right?
Yeah.
So, but they can pretend this game, right? Like, they can be the devil and the angel again in the public eye, and they have a big sort of a topic, a hot topic that everyone is talking about, the immigration and the Muslims, blah blah blah, and they can just fight over it and they can grab the attention. That all, it seems to me, it's like a political game. It's not going to make any difference. Even if this definition comes in, it's already problematic, right? Like, I saw something on Substack. um I was trying, like, someone put a note out. Was it Andrew Devine? I think so. He put a note out there which was a critique of Islam or something.
Yeah.
I went on there and I couldn't read the note because it was asking me to verify my age, right? And so I had to change the VPN to US to see what the note was. The note was a very valid sort of criticism of it. It was even less harsh than what I would criticize Islam for. So already we have Islamophobia laws, because the internet, because of this online safety bill,
Yeah.
another edition, is already censoring it. So, like, you can see the Islamophobia is already being done, which we don't need. We already can't criticize it. So this is all a political game, as far as I can see.
So it's a vote winner as far as is that the motivation behind it? It's a vote winner.
Everything that Labour does is to sustain its power and to gain more power. There's nothing else. Like they never have cared for the people. They care even less now. All they want is like to sustain like some of their seats, because they know every all the Muslims are going towards Green Party, or whatever other wacky party they can come up with.
Well, that's there. I mean, at the moment, I mean, they say the split on the right, if that's what you want to call it. They say the vote on the right is split, but when you look at the vote on the left, you've got my party with the nutcases of Zara Sultana and Jeremy Corbyn and all the start raving bonkers
Yeah,
mob, and then you've got the tip whisperer Zach Polanski and
yeah,
his little mob, and
yeah.
then you got the Labour Party. So I don't know how they're going to thrash that all out amongst them when it
I
gets to
think
the
it's all over. Like it's not a right and left thing. It's like all over the political spectrum. People are just being balkanized, right? Like even on the right that you see, like we have our own loonies on the right, like like and there are different gradations of loonies out there, right? Ourselves included, to other people, right? And that's not a right or left thing. It's just everyone is so self-centered and so selfish these days as well. They just want their own first. Whatever person that we have leading parties and stuff, they also have the savior complex. They want to be the one to save Britain. They don't want Britain saved. Britain saved is a secondary thing for them.
yeah,
Everyone who comes up is like, oh, they want to be the Messiah. And it's every single, most of the people on whatever levels, on whatever gradations, they have this sort of a thing. They want to be the one who saves Britain, not like Britain being saved is secondary. And unless we fix that, I think so we're gonna see it. Like we're gonna have this your party, we're gonna have like the Green Party, we're gonna have Labor is almost dead, but like in this muddy waters, it's like, yeah, Leicester can win the Premier League, can't they? Like anyone can, because everyone is being so shit. And
yeah,
Tories, like everyone is saying, oh, they'll be dead. Yeah, it's the oldest party. Who knows? They'll be dead. They won't be dead. Reform Party, who knows? I sort of predict right now, if I were to predict, I would think the Liberal Democrats are more likely to win the general election, the way things are going, right? Like either they're going to win it or they're going to be in the opposition, with the Reform Party either winning it or being in the opposition. To me, it seems like Reform Party and Liberal Democrats are the new establishment. They're going to be the new uni party, where on the face of it, they're going to fight with each other on various things, but at the back, they're both in agreement. They're both liberals, and they're actually both Liberal Democrats. Look at all the people that Reform is also taking from Tory party.
yeah,
It's all
yeah,
liberals that
yeah,
they're taking.
yeah,
There's a
yeah,
reason
yeah,
for it, right? So this to me seems like, oh, the globalist elites have like sort of, in a way, if you want to go a little bit conspiracy wise, that it seems a bit on the face of it that the liberal elites have said, the globalist elites have said, like, okay, the brand of Tories and Labour are dying. We need a plan B just in case. Let's prop up these two, right? They might not need to, like, puppeteer them. It's not needed. It's like people on Ed Davies side and people on Farage's side, they're all self-motivated anyways. Give them enough attention and incentive, on their own they will create a new elite, because on the
yeah,
back of it they want the same thing. Reform are saying a lot of things. They're not going to deliver on it. They're not tough at all on those things. They're very liberal. They're very and even if you see the Liberal Democrats, like, yeah, everyone makes fun of it. People have to realize how many votes they got still.
yeah,
You have to see their local government showing as well. They're doing the well. They're just behind Reform Party in getting
yeah,
local votes and stuff, right? People believe in them, and they are also English centric. It's just that um, they're very British centric themselves as well. Liberal Democrats. It's just they have their lefty sort of ideas and stuff.
yeah,
And
yeah,
they have, like, they know the migrants who are like already assimilated, so they don't see the bad side of like the illegal migrants and stuff like that. So they're not worried about those things. But they're more British centric than let's say Labour Party. But these Reform Party and Liberal Democrats are very much like those British values, British, right? Like,
Yeah.
so you can see that happening. So in a way, I think so everything is fractured, and people are likely to just get disinterested in politics at all. We might have, if this carries on, and if advanced UK maybe is not able to make a dent, right, or is not able to grab the attention of the people. Like, we have good number of members, but if you look at it, like, a Green Party has twice and thrice our members, and
Yeah.
they are still fucking loonies, right? But the thing is that if this carries on like this, and this people don't see any hope and stuff, it's most likely we might have even a lesser turnout in the next elections, and then the real
That's a
calculation.
crazy prospect, isn't it? Considering what's
Hmm.
going on. I mean, I think I think you're right about the Lib Dems, by the way. And for me, one of the reasons that they could get such a high vote is because the uneducated out there, the people
Hmm.
that don't really know much about politics, it doesn't play any role in their
Yeah,
life. They know they're sick of the Labour Party.
yeah,
They know what a mess the Tories made of it. So they just go, oh, I'll go in the middle.
yeah. And they're not gonna vote Reform because Farage is toxic to them, right? Like, they don't want to engage. Farage to them is, Hitler or whatever, which is pretty much untrue. But obviously, like, they're not gonna go for that because they can't vote Reform, and then they go to the champagne parties and stuff like that and tell
Yeah.
people they voted Reform. If they go Liberal Democrats, then they're everybody's friend, aren't they? Like, they just want what's good for their local community and stuff like that. And I think so this is how Liberal Democrats have built their brand. It's not bad if you look at it. If you look at it apolitically, from outside everything, I mean, they got their game done properly, and I was saying that in the last elections, they're going to double and triple their vote count, and that's what happened because he wasn't being political at all, and that's how
Mm.
he's being now. He's the only one who's the Ed Davey and Liberal Democrats Party are the only ones who are talking about the farmers the most. I don't even see Rupert Lowe talking about the farmers on Twitter at all. I don't see Advance doing that much as well. I don't see Reform doing that much as well. Uh, Tories do it, but who the hell pays attention to Kemi anyways? So
Yeah.
there's an
Yeah.
opportunity over there, and that's where Liberal Democrats win. It's not about the policies because unfortunately the majority of the public is either too indifferent, too uneducated, or not uneducated but uninterested, more like, to care about the policies. They're just populist one, right? So if you can grab the attention, then that's it. If you dig deep in the policies, that's when you won't vote for Liberal Democrats.
Yeah. Absolutely. What do you make of David Paulden or Zach Polanski, as he prefers to be known? What do you make of him? I think he's a very dangerous individual.
It's very fun. Like, he used to follow me a long time ago, right? Like, we used to interact a lot before he went all Green Party and all crazy. He used to be independent, I think so. um I think so. It's a pointless sort of party because they're not going to matter that much. I don't think they're going to matter that much. He's going to soak in all the true believers on the left, right, which aren't actually that many people in this country. The proper loonies, right? Like, he's going to attract them. They're not concentrated in one place. They might get like few votes here or there. They'll have the same number of MPs that they have. They might
They're
double it.
polling well, though. They're polling well, I believe.
Yeah, they're polling well nationally, right? Like, but we don't do elections nationally. We do elections by constituencies, right? So anyone can vote like higher nationally. Like, look at what happened to Reform as well, right? They were polling so high, or they would have been polling so high, they got so many votes, but they had only 5 seats. So that's something that could happen to Green Party as well. I think so. It's sort of like they are important for the death of Labor, right? Because they're going at it like they have to outcompete. So Labor either has to say that Green Party is too much of a loony, which they are doing,
Yeah.
and they'll lose their vote, or they have to out loony the Green Party, which can't happen. This is where I think so the Liberal Democrats are winning. So
Yeah.
I don't think so. The Green Party right now is inconsequential because they are going to be swallowed up by the Muslim problem pretty soon that they are flirting with. They're going to find out pretty soon, like, what they're doing with. And then the Muslim vote eventually the Muslim vote, the more this balkanization happens, the Muslim vote will form into their own Muslim party. We'll see that. That's coming.
You think that that's going to come before the next general election, you think?
Yeah, most likely. Yeah, I think so. Like, obviously I could be wrong, it's too far away, but I don't think so. Labor is winning the Muslim votes back, because Labor is finding hard now, like, to sort of justify the extremists within their party. They just don't know, they're out of ideas. The Green Party is more sort of motivated by, like, taking away the votes from the Labor. He's not attracting any new people, that's the thing. Jack Plonsky, he's only attracting the true believers from Labor Party. So it's not no new members are coming in. It's the shifting of the members from one loonies to another
Yeah,
loonies,
yeah. Just going back to the those proposed laws that I'm going to call them Islamophobia laws. I know that won't be the technical term. It's
anti-Muslim, something like that.
Anti-Muslim.
Yeah,
can't remember the exact term.
Hmm.
The fact that they're trying to take away trial by jury as well. It's a
That's scary. Yeah.
It's a very scary prospect.
Yeah.
And what is the line? By the way, what is the line? What is criticism? What is anti-Muslimness? What counts as anti-Muslimness? I mean, I don't know. Is our conversation this evening, is that anti-Muslimness? Is that an arrestable offence? And if it is, do we go to court without a jury, and do we end up in jail for having an opinion without the chance of our peers saying whether we're guilty or not guilty? I mean, where does this lead?
I think so. Like, obviously they can't. They also know the practicality of it. They won't be able to put everyone in prison, right? They just want to catch out the big influencers and the names that they want to catch out, right?
Yeah.
Once you silence them, you take away the heroes, you make them bend the knee, and then you can control, right? That's what they're trying to do. But obviously, as we all know, like, the people on the left are stupid. They always do these things to catch out the enemies, but it catches themselves. They are actually laying the ground on which they can be tried themselves for not giving enough rights to the Muslims, right? Which is what Labor is going to get into the problem with, right? Because that is what their own sort of base are threatening them against. So this is why what they're proposing, this definition, they're not really making it legally binding. They're making it as a guidance, as a suggestion, right? Because they know it can cash them out themselves. I don't think so they even intend to. They just want to write this, like, they want to have something to fight over, something to talk about and stuff, so they can say, oh, look, this law wasn't passed, but we are with the Muslims because we tried to do this.
So it's all rhetoric, basically. You think it's all hot air?
Yeah, I mean, because it is gonna get into so much because they can already do all of these things. They already are doing all of those things, right? Because this anti-Muslim sort of thing is also, like, about perceived Muslimness. So if you do something to people like Sikhs or something, right? And after 9/11, they got into a hot mess in America because they looked like Muslims, right? So they're sort of like perceived Muslim, but we already have those laws. We already have those laws that if you are targeting someone on the basis of their immutable characteristics, then that's discrimination, or that's hate crime or whatever, when you're targeting them, threatening them or whatever like that. We already have those things. So, this is just show. This, for me, is just show. Is riling people up. They want the right people angry about it. They want to catch out the right people saying the wrong things in anger and frustration and stuff, get a reaction that they can work against, right? And then they can show, see, this is why we're trying to save the Muslims, because look at these far right people, look like they're throwing the heads of pigs or whatever at mosque and stuff like that. This is what we were warning against, because they're trying to push people like they did, like, last year as well, in the Southport riots and stuff. They do these things on purpose, I think. So just not so that they can put everyone in prison, but so that they can do enough to enough people so that everyone else complies.
Yeah, I think a lot of people that they often send comments to people like yourself and me and Richard, and they say, "Oh, you should say more. You should say this." But what you said a minute ago is absolutely right. The first people that come after are people like me, you,
Yeah.
Richard, Tommy, and whoever else talks about it. So we're the ones with our head well and truly above the parapet. Let me just get these. Mark, thank you, Mark. Great show, Paul. This super chat off Henry Crinkle. We love your show. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Tony, hi, Paul. And Momus, wishing you both and families a very Merry Christmas. What do you think of Starmer threatening to stop the next general election? Momus, what do you think?
It's not gonna happen. He's gonna delay it till the last minute. Like he's gonna use it till the last minute. He cannot actually not do the general elections. That has to be that is a decision that has to be taken over his head, right? So he can't actually do that. So it's just trying to get reaction of the people. It's trying to keep themselves relevant as well, keep themselves like, okay, look, we are doing this. Trying to get their base like together as well, trying to appear the tough guy or whatever he wants to do and stuff like that. It's just
the cancellation of local elections is real
delaying.
though.
So it's not cancellation, it's delaying.
Yeah.
So right, so technically he can't cancel them, he can delay them, but it's up to a point. He can't, like, for general election to delay a general election, he can't just say, oh, we're never having a general election, right? That's not how the parliament works. So he has to have them, but he has a term time and when to call it. He can go till the last moment, and unless there's a war or something like that.
Well, I was going to say there are instances where a general election could be cancelled.
Even then, it's not a prime minister who makes that decision, right? Even then, it's a decision over his head, where a general election is delayed and stuff. So, but it's likely, like, if a war happens, they can get him to stay on and stuff like that. But who the hell in their right mind want to? Even his own side doesn't want him to stay on. So I would imagine, like, if there was a war on, the king would probably want him to stay on because the king is lefty, right? He wants the Labour government, most likely. But I don't think so. Even that would happen. He's just so unpopular, even with his own side. I think so. He's going to hang on till he can. Maybe the news was, the inside news was that people were trying to get rid of him and get Ed Miliband on as prime minister.
That was the latest one,
yeah. So that has been going on the mill for like few months now from the inside, and now finally it's coming out in the media. So there is some truth to it, because the labor base are so irrationally stupid, right? So they're so ideologically trapped that Ed Miliband is their sort of ideological guy, because he's willing to destroy the country for the ideologies. They can see that. So they want him. Like, they truly do want him. They truly do believe he should have been a prime minister, and he was unjustly, like, ousted when he should have stayed and become So
I'm not sure the British population could put up with a man like that in charge. But I mean, look, talking about
putting up with a lot of shit, so you never know.
Talking about wars, I run a poll the other day. Look at this, Momus. Would you fight? Would you be willing to fight a war for Labour? 40,000 votes on this.
Yeah. This has been going. So I've seen a lot of weird reactions to it, right? Because most reactions are because of what Tommy said, that I won't fight for them or for you, or stuff like that, right? He hasn't said I won't fight for Britain, but like, people have taken it out of context, all political spectrum, right? It's not just the left that has attacked him and stuff. It's people on the right attacking him as well. It's some ex-military people as well, because they're very emotional and stuff. It's like, of course we will fight for Britain. Like, who are you, a traitor, and blah, blah. It's like, that's not the point. The point is, you don't fight. Like, it's a suicide mission. If we fight Russia, it's not even like, of course we'll defend Britain, right? If it comes to it, we'll defend Britain. But with Russia, with this, it's not just a suicide. It's not just suicide for Britain, but suicide for the whole world, because this will pull the whole world into World War III. It's like, what are you even suggesting? You think a NATO country attacking Britain, attacking Russia, will not provoke a reaction from Russia and from China, and will start a whole chain of events that we don't
Yeah.
want? We are
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
in a position to fight. We're not in a position to defend. We're not in a strong internal position, right? Because they will start a lot of civil wars and stuff. Because
Yeah.
all these Islamists and stuff, they're waiting for this to happen.
Yeah.
It's like,
Absolutely.
what are you even talking about? Why do we want to fight?
I mean, it's
Secretly,
crazy rhetoric. Crazy
yeah.
rhetoric. I mean, I've not met one person who think that sort of talk's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I have. So,
Really?
yeah, because they're like, Putin must be like, Putin is evil. But you know what the thing is? What I don't like is the binary sort of thinking as well that most people have. So, what most people conclude is because we should not fight, because we are not a good position to fight, and because we actually shouldn't be fighting the Slavic wars, is something the Slavs should like sort of control themselves and deal with it themselves. But that means that Putin is good, right? Like that Putin is our friend. It's like, no, that doesn't equal that, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean like the enemy of your enemy is your friend. Like, not in this case. He's still your enemy. He's been trying to destabilize the West for past 30, 40 years, right? Like, through all the Soviet bullshit that he's been trying to play, right? He's been trying to destabilize the eastern borders for like his western borders, the Europe's eastern borders, for a very long time, because he wants influence. He wants the old Russian Empire back and stuff, right? It doesn't mean that he's a good guy. It just means that this is not in our British interest, right?
Mm.
And that's what I don't like seeing from the online sort of right people as well. When we talk about the Russia and Ukraine war, it's like, well, of course Russia has done the wrong thing, right? But at the same time, we are not in a position to be the universal police on this.
Yeah.
That is not the position of NATO. Ukraine is not part of NATO. So, sort of like, pick our battles with this thing, and not try, like, not go into that trap of like, no, Putin is a really nice guy. And he's like, no nice guy stays in a country's leadership position for 30, 40 years as in a democracy. Like, yeah, grow up with that thing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. P. Wright said Lib Dems are nuts with the leader of them. I mean, I do think that Ed Davies is a bit of a crazy one. Him and Zach Plansky make a good pair, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Ed Davey is a bit more savvy than people think he is.
yeah.
And, it's in his favor for people to think he's an idiot.
You talking about me, Bogus?
Yes, I was just gonna say. Speaking of, he's gone. Speaking
That's
of
because Paul
idiots,
Thorpe, yeah.
Richard is
Useful idiot. Useful. That's what Lucy Brown wrote that dreadful book about Tommy and the movement, and she said I was Tommy's useful idiot. I thought, well, at least I'm useful.
Yeah.
Well, she got one bit right.
Didn't she? Yeah. Useful, Paul. That's the bit she got right. Do you know what, Moments? Paul is going to give me so much stick. One, because I'm very late, but also because I just, we had a bit of fun on the last stream, didn't we, Paul? Eh?
Yeah. Hey, look, Richard, never mind about that. You do know that we are only, where are we?
3 days from Christmas?
3 sleeps from Christmas. Christmas Eve, I'm live at 9 p.m. and I'm live for 24 hours.
Paul, Paul, look at this beard. Look at the belly. Look at the grey hoodie. It turns red on Christmas Eve. I am very busy. I'm very busy on Christmas Eve, Paul. Ho ho ho!
You
3 hoes.
You can't let all your supporters down, Richard.
No, I'll be. I was going to start about chimneys and Santa's sack, but I'm not going to go there.
No, don't start on that one tonight.
But
what have you been up to, mate? I know what you've been up to for the last hour. By the way, can I just tell everyone? People keep saying, "Look, Paul is the pen clicker. It's so annoying." What that is that you can hear is me clicking on your comments and scrolling through the chat. It's not a pen. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put the let me put the sound cancellation on. That might help. What have you been up to then, Rich?
Mate, listen, I've been all over the place doing all sorts of stuff, getting a whole lot of stuff done for Advance in Northern Ireland, sort of trying to get people motivated and organised to join, and I think that's going pretty well. So there's a lot going on with that. Loads of stuff with the movement. As you know, we did the absolutely amazing carol service on the third. Have we spoke since then, Paul?
Yes, we have, Rich.
Have we done that? Yes, that's the problem. That's the mild cognitive decline that I've got that's causing problems. Induced by hanging about with Paul Thorpe too much, but yeah, no, I've been mad busy. I've just been doing loads, Paul. You know what I mean? And yeah, so I've been up to all sorts.
What do you make of that, Momus? Do you see Rupert joining the Tories? Is that his ambition?
No.
I think
no,
so.
Sorry, Rich. Did I say Richard? I thought I said Momus. Sorry.
Yeah, he did. Sorry. That's the idiot part of him coming out.
Right, I'm going.
No, please stay. No, I mean, I think so. He's playing both sides till he knows for sure, right? So I have a feeling the people around him want him to go to Tories and fix them, right? Like the unfixable thing. So from what his interviews that I've seen, that he's very cagey about it. He sort of in his recent interview with Carl Benjamin as well. He sort of said yeah, we need to work with Ben Habib and blah blah stuff like that, but he then made fun of the Advance UK name as a party and blah blah. He said it sounds like a toothpaste advert or something like that, right? So he's trying to, I think so, play all sides till he's very clear. I think so he's not giving a clear answer because he's waiting for the Tories to have the leadership contest, which they will within this year, and then he'll decide. But I don't think so. If the Tories don't get rid of their, or have any notion of getting rid of their Liberals within the party, they won't want him anyways. So he's sort of I don't know what he's going to do, whether he's going to start his own party, whether he's going to take over some other smaller party and do that, which is going to be pointless. I think so. So all he has two options: either join Advance or join Tories. And I have a feeling that he's more likely to join Tories, unfortunately, if given the chance.
What do you think, Rich?
No, I don't think he's going to go. I think. I hope we see sense. That's all I'm going to say. But I mean, look, I think he's a good guy. I think he's a good guy. I wish he'd come on board with Advance when Advance launched. But what will happen is, Paul, with a lot of these people, when they see the gravitational pull that Advance is getting, right, and it is getting a gravitational pull, it's going to suck everything into its orbit, and people will just naturally come. I was giving off earlier on about YouTubers, and I kind of do it in a way. I'm doing it out of a bit of devilment. You know what I mean? Because I kind of like just stick it on people, because I think they need to have it done sometimes, because people get a bit sort of ahead of themselves. But I think a lot of people are going to come in the gravitational pull that Advance is going to generate. Ben is going to do so well in the new year in terms of his speaking, in terms of policy, in terms of what's going on, that he is going to pull people with him. It's going to be as simple as that. Once policies start coming out, now again, I haven't seen the policy. I'm just a lowly member, so I don't know what's going on. But once the policies start coming,
don't be so humble. Don't be so humble.
I'm so humble. I'm so humble. Uriah Heep, you know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And like I say, we've got to be ready, because if we're going to win this election, when Farage really stumbles and falls, which he will, then that's the opportunity when a lot of people will come across, and it'll be a completely different dispensation. The Tories are finished. They're on 18% in the polls, and they're hailing this as a great victory, that they've actually managed to get 18% in an opinion poll, which was run by one of their, I think Lord Ashcroft ran the poll. It's pitiful. At the minute, the only show in town is Reform, right? Electorally. But that's going to change. Yeah. And the two-party system in the UK is gone, because nobody trusts them. And what we've got to do as Advance and as supporters of Advance is tap in. This is where Lecture Tommy can come in. Is tap in to that 10 million people that aren't voting, or however many. It's more than that, isn't it? But that, if we got another 10 million people voting, right, and voting for Advance, then we win the next election with a landslide victory. Simple as that.
Guys, I'm ploughing through the chat while Richard is talking. Thank you very much. Bets, thank you very much for that. I really appreciate that. So Ben, thank you. And Theo, only Calmac Keir Starmer needs a cold stunner. Thank you very much.
A cold shower.
A cold shower, yeah, definitely. Welcome, Richard. Richard,
thanks,
glad to see you on. Glad to see you in. Richard the Lionheart. Listen,
thank you.
He doesn't need any praise. He's quite confident enough.
No, I need it. I need the praise. I'm a very sort of shallow person. I only survive on praise. If people don't praise me,
Advanced UK Jenny says Richard was gone too long between shows. Mrs. Inman is missing half the pigs in blankets from the fridge.
All of them.
I am absolutely not going to comment on that for 1 second. All I'm going to say, you got to bring home the bacon. You got to bring home the bacon.
Richard the Lionheart is right. Richard, your fan club is growing, mate.
You better believe it. It's
Richard is Santa.
Ho ho ho.
Robert says Lucy Brown helped with Panodrama. I'm not sure.
Did. She did. Yeah.
Right,
Listen, there's a long story, and there's a, put it this way, me and Lucy didn't see eye to eye. Let's just put it that way. I kind of had the measure of Lucy Brown for a long time before all the wheels came off. But that's
working class patriot. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, patriot. God bless you, man.
Yeah. And you, all the best, mate. Thank you so much. Hopefully the clicking noise has now disappeared because I've turned on the noise cancellation. We've got 1,700 people. Richard, behave yourself. Oh, it's moments, is it? Who needs enemies when you got friends like this? Dear, oh dear. Let's have a little look at a video. Let's have a little look. Now, this is a bit loud, this, right? But hold on a minute. Let me get it up. Where are we? I was going to play Ben's one, Richard, but you played it on yours earlier. Let's have a little look at a bit of Christmas shopping in London over the weekend. Have a look at this.
No, I've seen this one.
How much more of this bullshit we got to put up with, boys?
All I want for Christmas is a Barrett Light 50.
I mean, honestly, though, on a serious note, the police last week were arresting people for calls for global intifada. They're only about 24 months too late, aren't they?
I mean, I tell you what, do you know something?
We get an apology for that now. Can we get an apology for telling the police for the last 2 years plus that they should be arresting people for calling for global intifada? Now they're doing it. Do we get an apology?
No, they've always been arresting people for that. Don't you know that?
Oh,
you're not going to get an apology. You're going to get a gaslighting. You're not going to. You're all under their, surveillance all the time. You just don't know. You don't know how it works behind the scenes.
Yeah. Let's not forget that the party that was in power when this started was the Tory party. Yeah. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that the Tory party sacked Suella Braverman for speaking out.
They're the ones who started the Islamophobia laws as well.
Yeah, exactly. And the internet harms legislation and all the rest. So let's not forget what the Tory party is: a wet, pathetic, feeble, treacherous, treasonous set of wretches. Let's not mince our words here. That's a good point. Advanced UK Jenny, waiting on policy. We need to see some policy in the new year. We definitely need to see some stuff coming out.
I think that when Advanced starts polling, like I was saying, like obviously Rupert's mindset is pre all of this, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm explaining what Rupert's mindset is pre all of that, and that's why he's probably thinking about maybe Tories is a better bet, like he's going to reform them, blah blah whatever, right?
Yeah.
But once Advanced starts polling, it changes the whole landscape. It changes the whole predictions. So any predictions that make right now is just pointless. Like it could be like something very drastic happens and we fail with Advanced, right? Like we don't get anything on board. Then obviously the whole, hopefully that doesn't happen. But anything can happen till that time. But given that if Advanced is gonna start when Advanced is gonna start polling, when they put out their policies and stuff, then we will see what the reaction is of the people. If the Advanced policies is not strong enough, it's not stronger than reform, or is very much in line with reform or Tories or whatever, then we'll also see people not taking up Advanced that much as well. So so many things have to be taken under consideration. That's what probably Rupert is waiting for.
I think so. I think you're right. I don't think Rupert will join this. I think it's more likely that Farage will try and do a deal with the Tories. But if Farage thinks he can win a massive landslide, he's probably not going to even look at that. No. So this is where Advanced can come on the outside lane. We were talking about this on the last show. Advanced are making slow and steady progress, and we've got to realize that they can do it. They can definitely do it.
Custom user says we won't be voting when digital ID comes in. That's Labour's evil plan. Look, let's have a little look. Maybe we need a Christendom party. I think we've got all the parties we need right now. We just need.
I think so. It's a very bad idea. Like whatever other people think. But I think it's a very bad idea mixing religion and governance, because especially Christianity, it's a very personal thing. It's a very cultural thing. We need a cultural revolution of it. We need people to return to Christian roots. But I was talking with Ben about this as well when I was recording it this Sunday. An episode with him. I was like, well, we don't really want to be in a position where we exchange Allahu Akbar for Christ Akbar. Right?
I disagree totally.
Want extremism in politics.
No, I'm going to push back. I'm going to push back against that massively.
Go on.
I'm going to push back against it massively. Our country, Momus, is a Christian country. The Constitution's Christian. The House of Parliament's Christian. Since the old Anglo-Saxon law codes, it was basically based on Scripture. Our country has been governed under Christian law. Now, you cannot compare. It's like comparing, literally comparing light with darkness. You can't compare Islam with Christianity. Islam's a heresy of Christianity and a dangerous death cult. Christianity has brought nothing but good in this country. Even despite all the problems that we had in the Reformation, when obviously Christian had gone awry and it got brought back on track by the Reformation. When you reform Islam, you get ISIS. When you reform Christianity, you get John Wesley, you get George Whitefield, and of course you get.
And we have talked about this, and we do agree upon those things. But
you get William Wilberforce. Now, William Wilberforce was an MP, and he went into Parliament specifically to abolish slavery. And after Wilberforce's great reforms, the Royal Navy spent 100 years, or certainly 50 to 60 years, fighting against other empires to free slaves, to free black slaves. So I think we need more Christianity in politics. We don't need a Christian party.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah. Right. We've talked about this before as well, right? Like that we would like more Christians, more people with more Christian values in the parliament, more military people, more like people who have done stuff with Christian values in the parliament. But having a Christian party is a very different thing than having Christians being in the party.
I agree. I agree. I'll tell you why I agree, Richard. You said yourself, when you're doing a live stream, as soon as you start talking about Christianity in the past, not so much now maybe, because you've picked up your following for that. But I think Liam said the same. It may not be. I think it was Liam.
It was Liam.
As soon as you talk about religion, it falls off the top of the cliff, right? And I agree with that.
Well, listen, that's the difference between doing things. I mean, by the way, this isn't aimed at Liam, but the reality is, if you're doing something out of conviction, I'll be honest with you, I would like everybody in advance to be a Christian. You two guys included, to be, on fire Christians, basically doing it for the sake of Christ. Because I think what's happened is secularism has had such a stranglehold, and one of the reasons that we have lost, and by the way, we've lost the war on terror. People think that we won the global war on terror. We didn't. We lost it. When we pulled out of Afghanistan, we lost the global war on terror. And the reason for that is because the people that were making policy did not understand religion. Now, Al-Qaeda understand religion. ISIS understand religion. Now, their religion is perverse and evil. But if you're driven by a fundamental belief that is out of otherworldly, right? That belief is going to inform absolutely everything you do. Now, if that belief is evil, which is with Islam, then it's going to inform you to do evil things. If that belief is proper biblical Christianity, then you're going to do good things. And we can see the fruit of this. When there was Christian revivals in the 1800s in the UK and in Ireland, crime literally fell off. There was no crime. Literally in Wales in 1904, there was no crime. The judges, I think they got white gloves. If there's no crime, a judge gets a white glove because he hasn't got any trials to try. The police force in Wales, basically, when the Welsh revival happened, the police force was so bored that they formed male voice choirs and just sang Christian hymns. So that stuff, we can empirically say that stuff definitely happens when Christianity is surging. When Christianity backs off, we end up in the situation we're in now, where you've got a foreign religion that's come in and causing all sorts of havoc. You've got secularism that's caused 8 million babies to be aborted since 1968. Marriages have been completely devastated because divorce laws and just the moral compass has been spinning totally out of control. So when Christianity is working, it's a very positive thing, not just for politics, but for every area of life. The problem is none of us do it properly, right? Because we're all sinners. So none of us do Christianity properly. But when it is done properly, it makes a massive positive difference. So I would push back against that. You're right, you don't need a Christian party. But what we do need is the government and the laws and the legal system to be like it used to be, and a lot more Christian than it was, than it has been for the past 50 years. This all started in the 1960s under Roy Jenkins and the Liberals, not the Liberals, the Labour Party, and some of the reforms that they put through, and it's been a downward spiral ever since then. So people that just blame Blair, it goes right the way back to the 1960s when you look at the sort of moral malaise that we've been living through.
But that would happen in itself as well, isn't it, Richard? Like when we have more Christians in Parliament, then they will make laws and they will revert laws that are not based on Christian values and stuff. This is why I'm saying, like, we don't need that Christian nationalism.
You don't need a Christian party. You don't need a Christian party.
You just need the people of here who believe the values on which Britain has been built to be in Parliament. And when they are pro-British, they will definitely be pro-Christianity, because that's the basis of Britain.
So what you need is you need a Christian awakening where people become Christians, become genuine Christians. And I mean, one of the first things I would do is ban people, because obviously the constitution of the unwritten constitution is a Christian unwritten constitution. What I would do is ban people from swearing allegiance on the Quran.
Oh yeah. Straight
away.
It's either Bible or nothing.
Yeah, exactly. If you went to Saudi Arabia and you got involved, I mean, you can't get involved in politics in Saudi Arabia because it's a dictatorship. But if there was a political system in Saudi Arabia, and you said to them, right, I tell you what you're going to do, because there's a million Christians here, we want everybody to swear on the Christians should be allowed to swear on the Bible in whatever parliament they've got in a Muslim country. It's never going to happen, and we shouldn't do it either. We shouldn't have them swearing on the Quran. And we shouldn't have a Home Secretary that says the most important thing in her life is Mohammedanism.
Yeah. Definitely.
Don't agree with this one. Dash Prussian says Ben Habib has no physical presence. When he's on stage, he looks like a little elf. However, he does speak well and he's a good man. I mean, look, your presence is your soul, not your body. I mean,
I have not seen anyone speak as well as Ben Habib.
Yeah,
I've not seen anyone have the presence and speak as in such a way that Ben Habib speaks. So I think Ben's.
I mean, people.
Ben is a Christian.
people can say like maybe he doesn't have the same charisma as, like, let's say Donald Trump or Farage or he's not a showman, right? Like, he's more of a policy guy. He's more of he wants to get things right and stuff. And you know what, like, it's something that William Clouston has said as well a lot, and I agree with him, of the leader of SDP, that we kind of have to be done with these sort of snake oil merchants and stuff, these populist figures and stuff. We actually need boring politicians back in parliament who actually, in a way, right, like, who are not just sensationalizing things, who are
Listen,
actually more more educated on policies and stuff, who want to do the good things, who actually want, but not like no personality. I'm not saying Storm or boring. I mean, like, so a bit of policy nerds you need as well. And I think so, like, when Ben spoke on the stage, Unite the Kingdom rally on 13th of September, everyone was listening. He was very charismatic on it. I think so it's the context where you see people. Sometimes you see someone explaining something which they know to be more complicated, and they don't want to just be a populist, and you might say, oh, he doesn't have any presence, right? But they're just being careful.
I think he has plenty of presence. I mean, for me,
I think Ben's a fantastic. I think he's very charismatic. I think he's a fantastic. I don't think I've seen. I mean, Ben got hit. There was some anti-Semitic woman stood up at the last event, and to be honest, if I'd have been there, I'd have wrestled the mic out of her hand and not let her finish what she was saying.
I'll be like a bit careful of people who are associated with other parties attending Advanced UK,
exactly.
and who are like part of other organizations. I'll send you a message afterwards. Yeah.
But I want to. That's not the point of making. That can happen at any event.
Yeah.
But the way Ben handled that, shows the measure of Ben. Yeah. He didn't miss a beat, right? And he very graciously answered the question, but answered in a way that made it very, very clear where he stood on the issue. And that woman was a plant to deliberately try and sabotage that meeting, right? And she failed dismally.
Let me ask you though, Richard, like, if you don't mind, Paul, do you see a lot of this sort of energy, sort of like a Groyper energy, coming from within online, right? Like, because it's mostly American thing, but do you see that within UK? And I see
do.
it.
I do.
Unfortunately, I see it a lot with some of Rupert Lowe's followers. Right?
Some of those I call them the young guns, and we know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
Connor Tomlinson's okay. I don't think but he's kind of a bit. Yeah. But there's other people around, and that guy with the dark hair, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, and a couple of others. And when you drill down, they seem a bit ethno-nationalist to me, right? They seem a bit ethno-nationalist, and there's others as well. There's people. I've seen people on Lotus Eaters again, seem to be very much going down that sort of direction. And I'm not comfortable with it. And this is the battle that we're in. This is why Christianity is so important. Because if you're a Christian, you can't have those views. You can't look at someone's skin color and go, oh, because you're a different skin color to me, you're out. Which is what they're doing. I mean, somebody said the other day, oh, if you're not born in the UK, you shouldn't be able to hold office, be a member of parliament. I don't agree with that. Look at Ian Hirsi Ali. She was a member of parliament in Holland. And she's done more to fight against radical Islam than any of these guys. And
I think
put a life
was
on the
in
line.
Denmark.
Pardon?
I think so. It was Denmark.
No, it's Holland. She was
okay,
Holland.
but your point stands. But the thing is, like, this is what I see a lot of. Like, I don't know, like, if I completely disagree with them. They have some points and stuff as well, which we need to take into consideration, maybe. But like, a lot of Restore Britain people are sort of like that. Do you think then there's a clash between what Rupert thinks should be the direction of how extreme we should be on the online, right, and what Ben thinks, and that's a divide as well behind the scenes?
I think this is a false divide. I don't think there's much of a divide between Ben and Rupert at all.
No, I don't.
I don't see it, and I think what our enemies want to do is get a hammer and chisel and put a big gap between Ben and Rupert. There's no real gap. Some of the young guns around Rupert, I'm not a big fan of, and they're probably not a big fan of mine, and I don't really care. I mean, they do their thing, I do my thing. It's up to them. But I don't like some of their rhetoric. But that doesn't mean that Rupert's necessarily going to be influenced by them. And the reality is, what will have to happen is there will have to be a coming together of the right. Now, let me just say this, okay? Because I got myself in terrible trouble last week for something that I said. I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that Advance joins with any other party, right? At all, right? I'm not suggesting that, because Advance has its own plan and it's ploughing its own furrow. It's very important people understand that. But there may have to be some sort of coming together, and
you don't have to join to form alliances.
You can, and that will be worked out by all the political leaders nearer the time. But what I think will happen, though, I think Advance is going to get such a gravitational pull that people will be coming to Advance. As crazy as it sounds, with Reform on 33%, I think in the next election, people will come to Advance and saying, "Can we work together?" That's what I think will happen. And then it's we'll just, I suppose that's up to Ben to work out what he does then. But it's not. Yeah. And before anybody clips this and tries to cause trouble, I'm not suggesting that Advance have to form any alliance with anybody, right?
Yeah.
But there may be people coming to Ben before the next election saying,
for the good of the country, like you have to put the country first.
It's country before party always.
Yeah.
That's my point. If I say something, even as clumsy as I might say it, my point is it's the country that matters. And to me, what we've done, I said this on my own stream there, what we've done is we've given the country, well, I say we, Ben and the team around who have given the country a toolbox with the solutions to every single problem that we've got. Unite the Kingdom for the street movement, because we need to do that to bring ordinary people like me along. We've got the spiritual revival that seems to be growing, and we've got Advance UK. So we've got all the levers of power that we can pull to actually save this country. And that I'm frustrated that Rupert Lowe hasn't jumped into Advance, right? I'm frustrated that people are still backing Reform because they can't see beyond the end of their own noses. I'm frustrated that anyone's even still in the Tory party, let alone talking about voting for them. Because I'm looking at that and going, look, we've got a solution here. And again, like, obviously everybody's got to come in their own way and in their own time. And I know when I'm passionate about something, I'm one track mind, that's it. This is what everyone's got to do. Come on, follow us. But I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. And to me, I'm saying it again and again and again. Everybody needs to get off the fence and get behind Ben and back Advance UK. Because Advance UK, as long as there's no massive banana skin between now and 2029, they will win the election. And we can watch this back after the election in 2029 and see if I've been right. If I'm not, I'll be living in America anyway.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, Working Class Patriot says you need to get Rupert Lowe to come on with Paul and Richard. Mate, listen.
We've tried, haven't we?
I've tried. I've asked him a number of times, and he never replies. He will only appear on certain channels. So
yeah, well, that's the thing. That's why I raised that question as well, because a lot of people around him, a lot of people who advise him and stuff like that, they do not like the Unite the Kingdom movement because it's not ethno-nationalist enough for them and stuff like that. So there is a possibility that he's being influenced by that. Is there anything wrong with that as well? Like there is few things wrong with that, but they have a point as well. Like they want Britain for the British, right? Like for the British first and stuff like that. Do we need to actually understand their point of view, maybe, like, and address it in a way that doesn't just disregard them, throw them out? Maybe we need to sort of welcome them in as well. But I also see, like, Advance UK need to be prepared for the same attacks that MAGA movement has been under from the groypers within their sort of party, because that's coming.
They've got to be resisted. I'll tell you why, Momus, right? They've got to be resisted. We can't compromise. We have to be completely unflinching on this, right? We're not ethno-nationalists. Well, Vance can't be ethno-nationalist because you're in it and Ben's the leader. So it can't be ethno-nationalist. It's nonsense, right? So we can't compromise. We can't give them any credence. Now, when Ben discusses this, he's a lot more gracious than I am, right? Because Ben goes, yeah, I see the point, blah, blah, blah. You shouldn't have dual nationality and all that sort of stuff. Ben's a very gracious man the way he deals with these people. I'm a bit different. If you want to be an ethno-nationalist, go and join Patriotic Alternative. Go and join whatever other parties there are out there. I forget the name of them. There's a Homeland Party. Go and join an ethno-nat party. Don't pretend that you're one of us, and have the strength. If you believe that Britain should be just for white people, have the strength of your convictions and go and join a party that believes that. But don't pretend you're on our side. Don't pretend you're you're a civic nationalist who believes that we can actually, if we deal with the Islam issue, right, that we can actually have a very cohesive society with people from lots of different ethnic backgrounds. Now, I still want to deport a whole lot of people. Like, so I'm not soft on this. If you've come here and you think more of Palestine, if you're a Pakistani man living in Birmingham and you think more of Palestine, or you've raped some children, right? I want you gone out of my country, right? I want you, and even if your family's been here for 3 generations, I still want you gone out of my country if you're in a grooming gang. Okay, so I'm hardline on that. But when it comes to the colour of skin, I don't care what colour people's skin is, because at the end of the day, Momus, you're my friend, and if anybody tried to deport you from the country, they'd have to go through me first, right? It's as simple as that. And the same with my friends from the West Indies that I served in the military with. The same with my Somali friend that was on the streets of Northern Ireland with me for 2.5 years, right? Think I'm going to let anyone throw, and he was a Muslim. Think I'm going to let anyone throw people like that out of the country? I'm not going to sign off on that, because
what have we always said, Richard? What have we always said?
It's what's in your heart that counts, Paul. If your heart's red,
But
white,
I'm asking, like, so just so people know, I'm asking these questions for there to be questions, like, so people know, not my own personal point of views as well. But I think so it's just like, because the online world radicalizes people in such ways, and we can see how it is, like, the toxic it has become, and it is radicalizing people. It doesn't truly reflect what's out there in the real world, because it's like that online right sort of community is a worldwide community. So there might be 1 million over there, let's say, in some space, but we don't know where they're from. A lot of them might be from India. You never know. India, Pakistan,
Qatar,
like that, that they're running.
We know that Qatar is funding a lot of these people.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Qatar's got a big. Listen, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not making this accusation, so I want to make that very clear. But I wouldn't be surprised if we found that there was money coming to that fellow in America that's doing a lot. Is it what's his name?
Tucker.
Oh, man. Tucker. Yeah, Tucker. There's all sorts of accusations about him related.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's pretty obvious.
And Piers Morgan's a weird one. What's his
wanker, man?
What's his
all he wants is, he knows, like, people think he's stupid. He's actually really smart, but he's just very self-interested smart person, right? He knows what gets the clicks. So he's not going to go one way or another. He's going to say things that gets the both liberals and conservatives on both sides, because he wants the views. That's all he wants. He admitted it he once appeared on Trigonometry. He admitted, like, that's all he wants, like the most eyes on his interviews. Or something of that sort.
And Momus, me and you have spoke about this, mate, right? Here's the thing. If we deal with the Islam problem, and it is a problem, right? If we deal with the Islam problem, all the other problems go away in terms of social cohesion. Now we've still got economic problems.
100%.
Because it's not about skin colour, and it's not about what I call Muslims in name only. And you know yourself, Momus, there's loads of people like Shohab and Lubna. They're kind of not proper, like, Quran believing, jihadi, loony, Deobandi types. They're kind of moderate, right? Now, but what happens is, because the Deobandi and the Salafis and the JI and the MB have such a lot of power over the communities, that basically they have a stranglehold on the community, and it's very difficult for the community to move away from that without getting themselves into bother.
Yeah, it's disabling for their own communities.
And the Barelvi tribal leaders, a lot of these grooming gangs that, and the voter blocks are from the Barelvi tribes, who were meant to be moderates, right? The Ahmadiyya Muslim up in Glasgow that got murdered by one of them, didn't find out they weren't that moderate. This idea of moderate Islam is a myth, because even the moderates, if you say something about Muhammad or burn a Quran, they're going to come to you with a knife and do some damage to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people just don't understand what we're up against, and people like yourself, Momus, that have come out of Islam, you're in a lot more danger than I am because of what you've done, because of the stand you've taken. As are people like, well, I'm not going to name them, but other people that have taken that stand, and we need to protect you guys, right? So if the ethno-nats are coming after you guys, as well as going after the proper, Deobandi, Salafi, Muslim Brotherhood, Jamaat Islami people, they're the ones that are the problem, But the problem is 80% of pastors, not pastors, of imams coming out of what they call them, the madrasas
Yeah.
are Deobandi now. 80%
Yeah.
are Deobandi.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that, so
Yeah.
we've got
Like,
big problems.
yeah, you're completely like right on that. Like, people, the thing is, like, this country has known about the Islamic extremism for past 40 years. It's just we're not doing anything about it. It's just growing in strength more. Like, they're doing more and more. They like sort of they see an opportunity of it as well. But I would still also say alongside with that even though, parable of the sheep, right? Like, so it's we need to keep that in mind, that those people might be lost, which we are disregarding as ethno nationalists and stuff, like, or not just like, because I don't think so ethno nationalist position is completely wrong. It's just the extreme sides of it, like, go a bit wayward, right? But we need to bring them back as well, and that should be the Christian motive in a lot of people as well, because there's a lot of disenfranchised white young men in this country who have been let down by the system, who nobody is listening to them, right? And now if we start
Yeah.
pushing them away as well, saying, oh yeah, you're just ethno nationalists and stuff, uh, there is a lot of horrible things, and I'm saying it because it's directed towards me, but still I'm showing that, compassion on that regard, because they are ruining their lives and stuff, and their lives will be ruined from it. We need to find a way, because these are your countrymen.
Yeah.
You cannot leave them. These are the future. You can't just leave them to the whims of some evil ideology and stuff, and then they will be stranded and lost. Like, we have to think of ways to bring them back.
Yeah. Can I just address this comment here, Paul, by Daniel S6G7Q, obviously using his real name. Same as majority of Muslims in the UK, but you want them all out, Richard. Talking rubbish again. Listen to Zia Yusuf and Layla Cunningham of Reform, both British Muslims, and criticise Islamists and grooming guys. Have I ever said at any time that I want all Muslims out of the UK? Have I ever said that?
I don't think so. I might have said it, but you haven't.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I've never said that. I've never said that. And again,
I can't find the comment. What time is it, Richard?
It's 10:17 p.m. It's Daniel -SG. It's a green D on the thing. Now, I've never said that, and I'm not criticising Layla Cunningham. I've got criticisms of Zia Yusuf, okay, because I think he's a wrong one, not because he's a Muslim. I just think he's a wrong one because of what he did to Rupert Lowe and what he's done to other people. I think he's a snake, right? But that's not because he's a Muslim. That's because he's a snake. Now, he might be a snake because he's a Muslim. I don't know. But he is a snake, right? Mm. So when somebody's making that sort of accusation and saying, I want all Muslims out, I tell you what I do want. I want all radical Muslims out. And I think, Dan, you'll probably find out there's a lot more radical Muslims in the country than you think. That's probably what you'll find out if you really go and do a bit of research instead of looking at, oh, Layla Cunningham and Zia Yusuf have been very nice about people that have been groomed. Yeah, okay. Well, what about the million girls that have been groomed in the last 30 years? Go and tell them, the cuddly version of Islam that you want to show everybody. If you look at the statistics are shocking. Over 50% of Muslims want homosexuality to be illegal in the UK. Over 50% of Muslims want blasphemy against Muhammad to be illegal in the UK. So there is massive community cohesion problems. So don't put words in my mouth and say I'm saying something I'm not saying.
Yeah, let me come in there. Daniel, I will say this. Richard has never, ever said that. And he takes criticism from the genuine far right for not saying it.
Yeah. I think so. You know what, like what we have actually said in the past as well, Richard, is that we want Islam out, right? Like that's a bit different because we have talked a lot about it, like why we should actually kick Islam out, to take away the legitimacy from Islam of being a legitimate religion, so that those Muslims who are on the fence or moderate and stuff actually leave it, right? And they have a pathway of leaving it without state censorship or state persecution and stuff. That's different.
Almost the problem with this guy's comment and the ignorance of the man. The problem with this guy's comment is the likes of you, who's a friend of mine. You're in danger because of the radicals, right? Yeah. I want people that basically read the Quran and believe it and believe all the tenets of Islam to stop believing it, right? And I want that to happen by Christianity or by education, right? But you're in danger, not from me, Momus. You're in danger from the radicals in the Muslim community that say he's an apostate, we can kill him. That's just a fact.
I don't know. If you eat all my pigs and blankets, then I am in danger from you as well.
Well, that's true as well. Isn't it?
But no, you're right. Like you're right. Like we have to understand, like the Islamic extremism problem.
It's very widespread.
It's like, and the thing is, it's not just Islamic extremism problem. It is the Islam problem. Islam is a radical extremist ideology and stuff.
Absolutely.
We have talked about this for a lot in the past. I have talked about this a lot in the past. Let's not make it a Muslim thing, because the Muslims will leave themselves when you stop Islam from being over here. So those who actually believe in it, when they can't continue believing in it, when you ban halal food, like when you take away the burqa, when you take away all their legitimacy as a religion, and the things that they enjoy, benefits out of being a religion, they're tax free. They make their homes into mosques, and then their houses are tax free. They don't pay council tax on it, and all that bullshit. When that goes away, a lot of these people will voluntarily repatriate themselves. We can even give them benefits. We can even say, okay, here you go, 30,000 pounds, go back to fucking Pakistan or Bangladesh, wherever you want to go to, right? A lot of those things. That doesn't mean that, oh, you want to kick every Muslim out, right? Like we want to kick this ideology out, just like we want to kick communism out, right? So that doesn't mean every communist in this country we want to kick them out, because there is no country that you can go to anyways. But even if there was, it's not that. It's just that we don't want that ideology to be people can believe in those things in their own home, but they don't have legitimacy. You can't openly, like, follow such things. That's the thing.
And this is what the secular mind doesn't understand, Momus, and this is why it's really important to try and help people understand this. And there's a difference between an idea and a person, right? I believe in Christianity, and it hopefully informs what I do to a certain extent, right?
Yeah.
If I'm a very, not convicted Christian, and I don't, then I'm not going to try and live a Christian life, right? But if you're massively into Islam and you're believing that you want to be like Muhammad. And, I remember my friend Mufassal Islam, this guy obviously never saw the videos I did for hours online. Do you remember Mufassal Islam, Momus? Do you remember?
I think so, yeah.
Well, Mufassal was a Dawi, which is basically an Islamic evangelist, right? So he knew the Quran inside out. And we would sit down for hours, and he would just educate me on why, and he'd left Islam. He would educate me on why Islam was such a terrible, terrible idea. And we've got hours of videos. If you got my YouTube channels from 2017, that's probably why I got demonetized, because of Mufassal, because he was crazy. He would sit there and I'm not going to use the word, he would sit there and go, Muhammad is a RAP, whatever. And he would just say it with such passion, and he was a murderer. And this is what he'd say. And I'm going, oh man, this is just after Charlie Hebdo. I think this guy's trying to get us killed here. Do you know what I mean? But he was crazy. But he was an ex-Muslim, and he was Bangladeshi, and he got put under so much pressure and death threats from the Bangladeshi community that he had to revert and pretend to be a Muslim to save him and his family from violence. And the pressure in the UK. So I'm sorry, Daniel. That's why I'm angry about that, because hold on a wee minute. I've sat with Muslims that have been persecuted by Islam, right? Yeah. Women who were, the same thing. See what happened with the grooming gangs? It's happening with women in that community, in the mosques in East London, like with Bangladeshi women. Because I spoke to them, and they told me their stories about how their husbands sexually abused them, how the imams sexually abused them. So I'm sorry, Daniel, don't come preach to me about what I think about Muslims. You don't know anything about me, you numpty.
Yeah.
Right, sorry, boys. Before we go any further, Richard, talking about people of other colour, what is this picture you put up in the...
well, Paul, what it was, I was trying... Because I made that very nice graphic earlier on. So I got Danny. What you didn't know, Danny had a hidden camera. And when you were doing the Christmas shopping, right, in the market in Benidorm, I got him to take a quick snapshot. And that's what came back. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. But apparently, that was you, Paul, earlier on today.
I've got a little confession to make, guys. If anybody at home sitting there tonight thinking Paul's been a bit quiet tonight, you know what? I am knackered, right? I have had my 8-year-old granddaughter around for the last 2 nights, and she's had me up all night. So I've had virtually no sleep for 48 hours. And I've got a recover in time for Christmas Eve. I'm ready to sleep for 24 hours.
Well, I have a confession as well. I did a live stream last night at, I think I finished about 11 o'clock or something like that. Then I was chatting to, I can't remember what I did after that, but I think I watched TV. I can't remember who was on the stream last night, but anyways. So I got to bed. What's he laughing at? Someone's put someone in the comments there. What's he laughing at? But,
no, I'm just laughing at you, forgetting what you was doing 5 minutes
I can't
ago.
remember. It was So I went to bed about 2 a.m. Got up, did my live stream got up at 6:30. Did my live stream at 7:30. Went to bed after having a shower and woke up at 1 o'clock this afternoon. So I slept about 6 hours straight from doing my live stream. So I know what you're going through, Paul, and I'm feeling great. That's why I'm so bouncy and aggressive. And come on, let's take on the world.
I'll tell you what, Rich. Should we do a little bit of practice for Christmas Day? Should we?
Oh no.
Where's he gone?
I don't know. I'm getting worried.
Well, that's the practice for Christmas Day, Rich. You've got to keep the fort going.
Oh, right. Okay. So
you have to keep the stream going.
Anyway, Paul Thorpe told everybody that he was going to do a show. Oh, it's great, isn't he? So little music. Do you know what, Paul? You know that if you'd have left that going for about another 30 seconds, I was going to completely implode your channel.
Yeah.
It would.
Oh god! Right, God. Before we go, Momus, do me a favour. Can you put your details in the chat there so that I can put it up on screen?
I'm not logged in. I'm not logged in. So
okay. So what's your website?
theworldofmomus.com.
World of
MOMUS. theworldofmomus.com. And you can find all my stuff over there, and everyone on the stream should go straight away and subscribe.
I'll put that up in the comments there.
Yeah, become a paid subscriber as well. Don't be stingy.
You grifter, Momus, you dreadful grifter.
All the money, all the money. Stop giving it to Paul. Just give to me.
You'll be on the list with me and Paul. Me and Paul are the chief grifters in the movement.
Yeah.
Thank you, Val. Oh yeah, so much so. Yeah. Oh, don't even start me on that one. No. Right, boys, I'm going to wrap it up. We've got over 2,000 people watching, but we've been on for an hour and a half. I need to get some sleep because I'm ready to just. I'm just thinking. What do you reckon on Christmas Eve?
Paul, I'm not coming on Christmas Eve, mate. Listen, I've got to tell you something, Paul. I'm going to do say on Christmas Day, if you get an hour out of me, you'd be lucky because I've got my family. I've got a family that I've got to,
mate,
go and visit.
You got a family here that's over.
But my daughter's doing Christmas dinner, so I can't be on the show with you and then be around at my daughter's having Christmas dinner, can I?
Well, I'm eating Christmas dinner on the show.
Oh yeah, it's your Paul. It's your show, your idea. Your bag, you carry the can, mate. I'll pop on for a few minutes on Christmas Day.
Your actual true followers are only going to be on there. You can actually see who your true followers are. Because nobody else is going to sit there watch you eat the Christmas dinner.
Look, Richard, you know what? I'll tell you what, right? There's 2,100 people watch this now. Remember this, guys, right? Remember who stood with you on Christmas Day and who bottled out. Remember,
it's not Paul. No, Paul. I'll be doing my own show. I'll be doing a little mini breakfast show on Christmas morning after I've been for my swim. I might take a little bit of footage. We're down in my speedos with my glasses, with my Southern Comfort and ginger on the beach, and my medallions, my red speedos. So I might. Is
that your medallions? Is that one medallion hanging out each side?
Well, I'm hoping to get one for Christmas, mate. Do you know what I mean? So I'll do a little bit from the beach. Won't be live; it'll be recorded. Then I'll do my little show, and then once I've had Christmas dinner, and the family kick me out because they will kick me out because I'll say something offensive. once they offend the family and they kick me out, then I'll probably come on your channel for a little bit.
That's
How's
it.
that?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Richard
happy
and his
enough.
budgie smugglers. Yeah. It's a bit, you know.
Excuse me, parrot smugglers, if you don't mind. Less than a budgie.
I was going to say blue.
Don't, Paul, don't. Just don't. Just leave the pigs and blankets alone, all right?
What were those prehistoric birds called?
Dodos.
No.
Oh yeah, Tyrannosaurus Rex.
No, that was a pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl. Yeah.
Pterodactyl smugglers.
Oh mate.
Well, that went downhill, didn't it? Fast.
Really did. See, once you get tired, mate, you're meant to say this stuff when we're not live. You know what I mean?
Oh, I've not even had a drink, mate. God.
I know, neither have I. I don't drink anymore.
Oh, get out of here, God. Momus, thank you.
Is that a pig in a blanket, or are you just pleased to see me?
Oh, God.
Sydney's going to have nightmares. Pooh Bear Womble's vomiting.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I'll wear a mankini. But it's okay, I'll wear a mankini. Don't worry about it.
Oh, right. We're going to go before it gets out of hand. Right, love to you all. We will be back, or I'll be back. I don't know where Richard will be. He stitched me right up. He told me he'd share the shift, but
Hold on. Are we still on?
Go on, what have you got? Yes, we are still on. Be careful. Go on, what are you...
Hold on, mate. Just bear with me 2 seconds. I'm going to try and get this in the chat. Oh, well.
All right, Claire.
Put it. That's Paul live on Christmas Day.
Yeah. Right, we'll be back. Well, I hope we will anyway.
Your channel's toast now, Paul. It's getting smoked.
I've just seen the things on the nipples.
Yeah.
They're baubles, mate. They're baubles.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Momus, many apologies, my friend, because you come on here and bring some real quality to this show.
Momus is ruined. He's going to be kicked out of advance as a result of Oh dear. Yeah, everybody, see you tomorrow morning at 7:30 in the morning.
Right, let me just play the outro. I'll tell you what, Richard, are you streaming live to yours as well?
Yeah, but don't worry, it's not monetized, mate.
Oh, okay, right. God bless everyone. We'll see you soon.
See you soon.
See you later.
Bye.
Thanks, Momus.